What's up, everyone? Today's compilation dives into some of the wildest and most emotional reactions online to IShowSpeed's Africa tour. Over the last month, Speed has been live streaming nonstop across 20 African countries, meeting fans, sampling culture, and sharing some unforgettable moments in real time. From joyous reunions and emotional reactions to controversy and debate over what this tour really means online, the reactions keep blowing up across TikTok and social media. Let's check them out. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content like this.
IShowSpeed is probably one of the most dangerous black men in the world right now. And not for the reason you think. Dangerous because he's dismantling centuries of propaganda in 60-second clips. For generations, Western media and power structures spent billions in painting Africa as savage, dangerous, poor, working tirelessly to divide Africans on the continent and our family in the diaspora. Made many black Americans believe they would be hated here, that they would never belong. Then a young black streamer from America lands in South Africa, Angola, Kenya, Rwanda, and what happens? Love. Country to country, city to city, overwhelming love. Artists hand him portraits, kids chant his name, elders bless him, street vendors feed him real food. Every city, every border, welcome home. Now, some will say, well, he's famous, of course he gets love. But fame didn't protect him everywhere. In parts of Europe or Asia where he is just as known, he was met with racial slurs, monkey noises, people literally throwing bananas. On this continent, he's valued, respected, protected and celebrated. Here's why this matters more than you think. Speed's audience is young. Millions who've had zero touch points with Africa beyond negative headlines and history classes filled with lies. He's not just talking to people who are already aware. He's introducing a lot of new people, the next generation, to a side of Africa they desperately tried to hide. His live streams show real kindness. He's making respect for Africa go viral. He's changing the message from be careful to you must visit and experience this for yourself. This matters because narrative shapes movement. When a 16-year-old black American in Chicago who's been told his whole life that there's no food in Africa watches Speed taste local food in Zimbabwe and say, why is the meat so good? It breaks that lie in seconds. Now imagine black teens across the Americas. Watch how people on the continent embrace Speed like a cousin. Something shifts fundamentally. Maybe Africa isn't just struggle. Maybe Africa is me. And that's the danger. Dangerous to a long-running story that kept many away from the continent, away from its people, talent, and opportunities. Once you witness the love and feel seen, the old script stops working. You start planning trips that will build bridges, lead to real meaningful relationships, cultural projects, and business ideas. That means money, skills, and attention flowing toward African cities, not away from them. I left Germany behind and built a new life in Africa because what many of us already knew, IShowSpeed is proving live and reminding everyone who missed it. This is home. Africa is where we are valued, welcomed, respected, and able to build. Follow for more to join my journey of building a new purpose-driven life in Africa and a short-term rental business that creates home bases for my family across Africa.
It's 2026 and IShowSpeed has me beefing with entire countries. Ever since Speed went to Egypt and then Algeria and then Morocco, I'm running out of room for North Africa on my dead. Algeria treated Speed like a worse than second-class citizen. And he's the celebrity here. But forget being a celebrity, he's a human being. And for the countless paragraphs being sent to me, hi, I'm Coach Zay, and I am not reading all that. Double it and give it to the next guy. I'm not arguing with entire countries about things they already know about themselves. I know this because people from other countries have told me they already know this. They don't go to those places. So while I am covering Speed in all of these different countries, if you're waiting on me to make positive videos about places that don't like me because I look like me, that's some strong hashish. Speed, I congratulate you for everything you're doing right now, including exposing that a bunch of North Africans do not like my people. Oh, and grown man, by the way. Don't believe me? Watch this. I'm not a second-class citizen anywhere, and neither are my people.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love in the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that, they don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. It's to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him. And I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
I've been trying to understand why I should gaff about IShowSpeed being in Kenya, and I've found zero. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm literally like, someone please explain to me why I should care if a Twitch streamer is in any country. Like, in fact, IShowSpeed is known for making women uncomfortable. So why would I even, like, seeing you guys being all beggy, there's like a whole, like, people are discussing, people are talking about master classes. What? Like, this was literally me when he was in South Africa. Me when he was in Eswatini. Me when he'd been in Kenya. Like, bro, he's here to do his job. Like, he's doing his job. Like, what? Like, it changes nothing. Like, it changes absolutely nothing. I've seen you guys care more about IShowSpeed than femicide. Like, why should I gaff? Like, what?
I really didn't believe y'all when y'all said Speed was gonna do wonders for Africa's PR. I in real life thought y'all were exaggerating. Like, I really thought so. Because as an African myself, I know that quality of life is just very diverse like it is anywhere else. Just like in Africa, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But I was so wrong. Because why do I get on here and I see people literally crying, people shedding tears, people being very open and honest about how ignorant they were to what really goes on in Africa and how people really live. Like, I thought the whole Africans live in huts thing by now in 2026 was like played out, but it's still just like a joke that people run with because whatever. But I thought people knew better. Even if you didn't think that every city in every country in Africa was developed like that, I thought that y'all at least thought that some parts were developed to a certain extent. But no, I'm really finding out, like, it's really a lot of y'all that thought that Africans real life lived in huts, real life lived in the woods or something like that. Whole time, there's a lot of people right now on the African continent that are living better than a lot of Americans today, right now. There's a lot of people on the African continent who don't have the same struggles as y'all right now. They're not over there trying to figure out, oh my God, am I going to have to pay my car insurance this month? Or am I going to have to pay groceries? Or some people don't have that struggle. A lot of people in Africa don't have that struggle.
Did you see how IShowSpeed Nigerian tower is a failure? Yeah, it fell below expectation in my rating. Compared to other African countries who probably were looking up to Nigeria. Yet it is these other African countries that the IShowSpeed tour has put the continent on the internet, that people are talking about, that people are seeing the beauty of Africa, the uniqueness of Africa, beyond what is the Western media has been showing them. Everybody was expecting, oh, when you go to Nigeria, oh, it's going to be heaven. Despite Nigeria actually being big, despite Nigerians actually being very creative people, very talented and educated people. But they weren't coordinated as you would expect. It was all, everybody wanted to be individual. It was a gathering of content creators trying to catch attention from with IShowSpeed. Everybody wanted their own cuts. Everybody wanted their own. They were begging for attention for their own platform, to promote their own platform. You see, they are talented, they are skilled, they are educated, but no unity of purpose. As black people, we could be very talented, we could be educated, we could be all that you can ever imagine. But if we are not coordinated as a people coming together, everything that we are complaining about will never go away. Don't be surprised that IShowSpeed will leave Nigeria and go to another smaller West African country, and they will perform. They will show the world something to talk about. I don't see nothing that IShowSpeed had in Nigeria for the world to talk about. Yeah, I don't see. If you see, show me. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see no cultural display. I don't see nothing. It fell below expectation. Yet Nigeria is big. Nigeria is full of talented people. That can be compared to this, project of, hey, black people, we can be doing well individually. If we are doing well individually, imagine us coming together as a people and pursuing things together and be coordinated about it. Yeah, Nigeria fell below expectation. I may be wrong. I stand to be corrected, but show me with evidence.
I would rather have people beg me for money than to be racist to me. When Speed visited Nigeria, okay, people were begging him for money. A lot of them don't even know him. And Nigeria is one of the most populous countries in Africa. Okay? So are you really surprised that a country, of course, yeah, it's been economically drained through the resources and through corrupt government and overpopulated, have a celebrity come into the land that not a lot of people know. They only know that he's famous, so that must be, rich, but at least they're not racist to him. I will honestly say, you guys are not talking about Nigeria, and y'all be talking this and that about Nigeria, baby. I'm gonna keep it 10,000/3 million, okay? What I actually really liked about Nigeria is that, number one, he celebrated his birthday there, and actually, it was intense and overwhelming. I probably would have been overstimulated and, whatever. That's why I don't want to go. But we're not talking about how many birthday cakes they made him. How many people made Speed 6 birthday cakes, tried to be nice to him. I know people were crazy. They didn't know how to act. Awkward. It is awkward as hell. But I will say that they showed him love. Nigeria did show him love. I expected more from Nigeria, 100%. But, it is what it is. They did what they can, and I'm not mad. I'm more this. That's a whole case study with that whole live. But they didn't racism to him. They didn't racism to him. How other places in Africa racism to him. And you know what? Now that the cat's out of the bag, I don't want to be hearing other people from Africa say, no, baby, you're different. We're black peoples globally. Okay? And just when he went to Africa, to Nigeria, he saw a side of black people. That's a big side of black people too. Let's be for real, okay? That's not foreign. But is it something that we need to fix? Yes. I think Speed is taking a mirror and just kind of bringing awareness to that. I love it. As a social worker, I love that. God bless that young man. God bless all his journeys in Africa. I will also say that I'm actually also Benin. So, my dad's family, actually, his forefathers actually come from Benin. So I'm not only Nigerian, I am also Benin. Fun fact. Know your history. And that's what Speed is doing. He's learning his history in lifetime, and that's beautiful.
If it's true, this is embarrassing. I don't know why Speed felt the need to explain himself. Why is it always Nigeria? Why do my people feel so entitled? Especially the ones living in Nigeria. Out of all the African countries that Speed has visited, it's only Nigerians that are complaining about him not doing collaborations with them. Are we the only ones? I watched the live stream myself, and don't get me wrong, there were things that I liked. But one of the things that I really disliked was the fact that I saw so many people begging and doing the most. Keep composed. Act like you've been there before. And I saw so many people begging for Speed to do collaboration with Pella. For what reason, I don't know. Wasn't Pella the same person that said if Speed goes to Nigeria, he's going to ignore him? Who told you that when Speed goes to Nigeria, he's going to look for you in the first place? All the begging that you did he even look your way? Speed, I don't want you to think that all of us Nigerians are like that. We have some civilized people, The next time you go to Nigeria, go to Abuja instead.
IShowSpeed receiving racial slurs in Nigeria wasn't shocking to many black Africans. it was familiar. What made it different this time is who it happened to and how visible it was. When someone with that level of rich experiences it, the moment can't be dismissed or buried. And it forced a conversation many people on the continent already know needs to happen. Just days earlier, during the African Cup of Nations match, an Algerian footballer, Mohamed Amoura, celebrated a goal by mocking a Congolese supporter who had become one of the standout symbols of the tournament. Now, that supporter stood motionless, deliberately evoking Patrice Lumumba, a man assassinated for daring to imagine African dignity beyond colonial control. Yes, Amoura later apologized, saying he didn't understand what the gesture represented. And that admission matters, because these moments aren't really individual malice. They're about memory, or the absence of it. Africa isn't one culture, but it is a shared history of exploitation, of resistance, and disruption. Yet, colonial borders, uneven education systems, and inherited hierarchies have fractured how Africans understand one another, how we understand each other's struggle. In some regions, proximity to Europe has encouraged distance from African identity. Nobody wants to be black. Now, even though those same regions have endured dispossession and violence from outside powers as well, even though we even have shared history. This isn't about pointing fingers. It's about naming a wound. When history is fragmented, solidarity weakens. When symbols lose meaning, disrespect becomes easy. That's why these moments matter. And that's why telling African history clearly, honestly, and across borders isn't optional. It is necessary. It is important. It is needed. And as always, history speaks.
Speed is undoubtedly the biggest African American streamer in the world, probably the biggest streamer in the world. For a young African American man to be the biggest content creator in the world and to spread a message of Pan-Africanism and pro-blackness that they spread so much in Ghana, I think that Speed has the potential to radicalize a lot of young black men into pro-blackness or Pan-Africanism that are still here in America and haven't had the privilege of going to Africa and experiencing and feeling that energy. Now, under that video, a lot of the comments were just saying, oh, he's a proud dad. It's not about how Speed is in Africa and things like that. I just am curious how that's the case, because Speed has already been to so many countries. So why was it once he went to Africa, his dad reacted so emotionally? It's because Africa's the motherland, bro. A lot of African Americans will tell you that our people aren't from Africa, and they've never ever been to Africa in their life. What? They've actually never been out the country in their life. So let me tell you, as an African American man that has been to Africa, that is our motherland. And the energy that you receive and feel in Africa, I want to say West Africa in particular, is way stronger and way more beneficial to your black body, soul, and spirit than any American city. I can say with a lot of confidence and certainty that after this Africa tour, Speed is probably going to be a completely different nigga, bro. He's going to have a completely different mindset and outlook on life and how he views life. And this is me simply speaking from experience as a young black man from Brooklyn, New York, who went to Ghana for 1 week and came back extremely radicalized, bro. Extremely radicalized. What flipped the switch in particular for me when I went to Ghana was when we went to Cape Coast and we went to the slave castles. I really, truly hope that him and his team go to the Cape Coast castles when he goes to Ghana. Or if he goes to Nigeria, he goes to the castles that are in Nigeria. And with that being said, if we give the biggest streamer in the world, a black streamer, the platform to push a pure Pan-African, a positive pro-black message, that in this digital age, in this age of the internet and social media, could prove to be extremely beneficial for the black community, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Africa.